Well, we all understand that every dealership wants growth, but what if the key to unlocking your commercial department's power is something that leadership just hasn't fully grasped? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain the one insight that could change everything for your fleet and commercial team and help the dealership along the way. Hey, what's up, crew? It's Patrick with Hot Topic Podcast, and today is Friday, June the 5th, and it's time for another question of the day. Let's see what chat has in store for us. Hey, chat, do you have a question of the day for me?
Hey, here's your question. What are some things dealership executives need to fully understand that could be holding their fleet and commercial departments back from real growth?
Yeah, it's a good question. I can think of three things really that are holding your fleet and commercial departments back. Number one, let's look at the age of the department. Typically, most of your fleet departments are going to be comprised with veterans. They've been in the industry for a really long time, 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50 years. So you have age kind of working against you in these departments. And with age comes experience. Okay, so 20, 30, 40, even 50 years ago, most people that are successful and have been in a commercial and fleet operation for that long were essentially dropped into an office or put at a desk and asked to figure it out. So this person, the reason why they've persevered and the reason why they're making it is because they did figure it out on their own. There was very little guidance internally from management, from staff, from anybody there. Most everybody doesn't fully understand what commercial and fleet is all about. So that person that's been sitting at that desk has the experience because they did figure it out. And they figured out something that's made them very successful. Generally speaking, most of those professionals are going to be very transactional, meaning I have a product, I have a customer, let's sell customer a product. That's a transaction. There was service beyond the sale. I'm not saying there wasn't. In order to be successful and to retain those customers, you have to have excellent customer management skills that typically are learned over the course of time. It's crisis management, if you will. Customer calls with a problem, you handle the problem. Even though you sold them a truck 2, 3, 4, 10 years prior, you're still there to help with crisis management. And that's how we retain our customers. And that's what ultimately gives us another opportunity to sell that customer more vehicles because you were there for them when they needed you. So again, age is something that we're dealing with, and the experience. To further touch on the experience, we now have new ways of selling that weren't around, let's say, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, really, for that matter, in fleet management, lifecycle management, if you will. Lifecycle management is a service that you're offering a customer, that you're going to take care of everything beyond the sale. Things that you're already doing, but just at a deeper level. Most dealerships aren't equipped to be able to handle customer crisis problems in a 24-hour cycle. So therefore, a lot of dealerships don't offer complete lifecycle management because of that reason. Now let's fall back on the experience of the commercial account manager. Their experience has taught them a way to do business that's been very successful for them. Again, 2, 3, 4 decades later, it's difficult to go back to that same commercial account manager and ask them to do business a different way. Generally speaking, you're going to get a lot of pushback. Why? Well, that commercial account manager has learned how to do business without anybody's help. And they feel like they own that part of their career. It's very difficult to do what we do. And kudos to you that are out there and killing it and crushing it. You know, and I know there's very little that's out there that really helps you grow your business. There's product training, there's software training, there's all sorts of training out there that can help you. But at the end of the day, you're the one that took the initiative to go out and capture those customers and retain those customers and continue to sell those customers. So the experience of that person can sometimes hinder new opportunities. Even if they make all the sense in the world, if you take someone that has been very successful and they're successful today, their mentality is, why would I change what I'm doing? If what I'm doing is still acceptable, why would I want to change it? So those are two things there. The other thing too is the lack of training. Now, again, this is going to sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because there is trainings available, but generally speaking, it's going to be product driven. we know that a lot of our upfitters and OEM manufacturers and truck mounted equipment, they offer all sorts of training and material to help us sell their product. But at the end of the day, that doesn't help us sell. It doesn't help us acquire customers. It helps us manage objections on a particular upfit or a piece of equipment or an accessory, whatever the case is. And all those things are important. I'm not saying they're not important, but at the end of the day, there's very little training from people that will show you how do you do this business. And there's so many young people, next gen, that are really starving for this information. It's like, how do I do this? And that's the tough part about our industry is if you have someone that is seasoned enough with the experience, generally speaking, they're too busy to be able to stop and train some of our next gen. When you look into the management of these dealership operations, generally they don't know. So they really don't know how to offer the training that's needed to be able to take someone from ground zero and make them very successful. And part of that too, obviously, it goes back to the individual. What is that person made of? Are they naturally aligned with the position that they're in? That's another key factor. For example, if you've got someone that's more of a connector or someone that's more of a networker, but you've asked them to do something such as producing government and municipality bids, oftentimes that person's misaligned and they're not using their natural traits. So a lot of times they're going to struggle with that process that you're trying to put in place. Understanding your personnel, but also understanding what your department needs are and being able to place the proper people in with the proper roles that are aligned naturally gives your operation, gives your dealership, gives your department a better chance for success long term. Okay, guys, that's it for today. If you're liking and enjoying the content, do me a favor, like and subscribe to the channel. It certainly carries me a long way. I'll continue to make the content. You guys continue to absorb it. And together we're going to get better. We're going to make our industry better. Okay, that's it for Friday. I'll be back on Monday, which will be June the 8th, for another question of the day. And guys, until then, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.